Lake Forest podcast is supported by viewers, listeners, and businesses just like you. Michelle Parnell has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow. Owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich, they are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M. Gentlemen.
All right.
Doctor.
What's up, guys?
Go Sox.
Got nowhere to go but up. Hey, that's it. Hey.
Jeff Urso, Duffers, co-founder. Got to throw that co in there. Don't want to upset the other person down the street on Western.
Joe's the best.
Saw Joe the other night, and Jenna, try to spread the wealth. You know what I mean, Jeff?
Spread the wealth, sure. Yeah. No, Joe. He does the rotation between Duffers, Lantern, Chiefs. What else we got?
So what the hell is this Yingling? I guess it's the oldest beer ever, but growing up on the northwest side of Chicago, I didn't hear no damn Yingling.
Yeah, it's huge in the East Coast and the South and stuff. I mean, it's kind of like Spotted Cow when you go up to Wisconsin. It's like, it's their own thing. So, imagine if Spotted Cow came down here, everyone would be like, oh, cool, Spotted Cow. So, Yingling, I mean, I'm not a huge amber guy, but I like, once in a while I'll
Wait a minute, are you telling me in the 90s, I'm sorry, the early 2000s, you weren't strolling around with a Red Wolf in your right hand?
No, I don't know what that is. Red Dog, maybe. Yeah.
So it's a red ale? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's an amber, but they also they put out, which I love, is Yuengling Flight, which is kind of like your Miller Lite or Ultra or Bud Light kind of thing. It's crushable.
It has way better taste than Ultra, in my opinion.
So that's what I am. I'm
with the same amount of carbs.
Drinker. Yeah.
For those of us who are trying to watch our carbs here.
Yeah, Joe, you posted a picture.
Wonders for me.
Yeah. Joe, you were just at Duffers, right? You had a little.
I was there. Jeff was not. I got there. I was going to go later, but I ended up going early, like 5:30.
Nice.
That's not early. That's perfect.
Well, I don't know if you had more people later on, or
I think around 7:00, a bunch of people came. We're
people that are under 50.
Yeah,
just saying.
Age is relative, I don't know.
It's relative. You're old as shit or you're not.
Yeah. Well, everyone's above 21. I know that.
All right, yeah.
There you go. Make that clear. Make that clear to the mayor.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
So who distributes it, Jeff? Like, what was their obviously had money behind it. Who's
Well,
behind the
so
scenes?
Kloss, they around where we are, they distribute Miller Coors, right? They do Coors Light, Miller Light, some big IPAs, Revolution.
What's the name of them again?
Kloss, Kloss.
Klaus. Okay, got it, got it.
Yeah. And then so Yingling licensed in Illinois finally. So I think they're in 26 of the states. So, this was their 26th state that they got
I
going.
first had it in Florida.
Yeah.
So they're in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, if you don't like IPAs, it's a good substitute for an IPA. It's not as like heavy as an IPA, and it's got a good body to it. So,
And so when I was there the other night, there was a couple down at the other end of the bar. I shouldn't say other end, but close enough that I could hear them. And the woman was from the East Coast. You could clearly hear her New England accent,
sure.
and she was excited as all get out
Yeah, yeah.
that this was here. She could finally have a Yingling here in
And
Lake
they actually
Forest.
and they actually did a really cool thing. So, they released it at the bars for the next 2 months. So you can't go to the grocery store yet. So it won't be in the grocery stores till mid-March. So that the bars, the only place to get Yingling for till mid-March is the bar. So I'm hoping that they keep it going through St. Patty's, but we'll see.
So Duffers has it. I saw Chiefs has it.
Toadstool, I saw has it. I know Hit. I went out to Hits. Hits had it. We put it at Bratski's. Bratski's has it. I think Donna put the regular amber up at Denelli's. So a lot of places are throwing it on.
Well, Pete will scout out Lantern this afternoon and let us know if Lantern has
Yeah,
it. But
yeah. But I think we're one of the only ones with flight.
yeah, and that was my go-to is the flight because of the carbs, you know. But yeah,
So who are they
but it,
competing with, Jeff? Like, if they're waiting to fight for shelf space in the jewels, like who would they kick out of their? You gave
It's
the
I,
name the distributor, and I don't know what else that they have. I mean, I'm
Ravinia, they
from.
kicked out Ravinia. Just kidding.
yeah. No, I don't know who they kicked out. I don't know if they're competing for shelf space. It's a huge brand in other states. So I mean,
Yeah.
it runs right neck and neck with Miller Coors in other states.
It outsells in some places. It outsells Miller and all those
Right.
big names.
So
Yeah,
it's another, the reason why it's a big deal is anyone from these other states recognize how big it is over there. So they're like, oh, it'll, presumptuously be huge here as well. So
and cover your ears, Jeff, since you're out of politics. The owner of Yingling, Richard Yingling, is a big Trump donor.
know that.
I knew I liked the beer. Give me some of that
Can you
Yingling.
read that? I don't know
No,
if you can read it
absolutely.
on.
Look, crystal clear.
I'll send you the headline. You can post it.
Thank you. All right, so you got Yingling. Is that what's going on at Duffers? What else is going on over there? How were the
So
holidays? How was, the kids coming out of
good,
school?
yeah. Yeah, it's been great. Actually, we had a much better January than previous years, so we're pretty excited about that. We just launched a new menu yesterday, so
Oh, hold on now. What left? What
what
stayed?
left? We dropped some of we just dropped some of the random chicken sandwiches or random burgers that are like your I don't know fun crazy stuff.
We're consolidating. Chicken is out.
Well, no, chicken's still here, but now there's four options instead
Yeah.
of eight, if you will. And then there's we're more pizza focused, so we had more Neapolitan pizza on, which is like kind of like those fancy pizzas you get at coal fire pizza
Yeah.
places. We did flatbreads. We still have our Detroit or Bluff crust, so we still got some good stuff. So we kind of focused it more on a pizza wing experience. And we still have burgers and chicken sandwiches and salads and wraps and all that fun stuff. But we got some really cool pizzas, some fancy ones. I'm a Southside guy, so I'm more of a sausage garlic, but there's definitely a market for our new pesto prosciutto arugula pizza. Um,
Say
so
that
we,
three times fast.
yeah, right. So we
After three Yinglings.
Whoa,
There you go, Joe.
flips off the tongue.
But I want to know what the alcohol content is of Yingling.
Oh,
Over zero.
well, I think flight is only like 3.5. But I think the regular Yingling, I think is like 4.25. I'd have to check, but it's not,
I'll look it up.
it's nothing crazy. Miller Lite's like three and some
So it's your
change.
standard, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got I think regular Yingling is the same as a Budweiser or MGD kind of thing.
Monday nights are your half price pizza nights, right?
Yeah,
So
nice pizza night. Yep. So we always, a lot of times January is a little different, but usually we get in a great crowd. A couple of weeks ago was, I mean, obviously during the national championship we were full, but we always get a good crowd for half price pizza. So it's a good way to try new things or half the price, and come in. And I think we got, I don't know what our Monday, I think $3 Coors Lights. So we got good little drink specials on Mondays
well, I see
too.
all the specials behind you there. You got a Taco Tuesday
Yeah.
poster.
Wall specials. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a special every
That's
night,
all
right?
those
Pretty
marketing
much.
dollars that the distributors say, "Oh, look what we're doing for you."
Yep. Well, it's kind of cool because if we did a pizza special every night, you might get tired of it. So we did pizza and then
Never.
tacos on Tuesday, dollar
And we love Wing Wednesday, where
Wing
it's what?
Wednesday, man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the cheapest wings in town on Wednesday. And
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
nice wings there, Jeff.
Yeah, the important thing is the best wings in town. That's for sure. So all our wings are fresh and we hand pat
You got a
them.
grilled wings option, which
I'm
is
trying to
good.
drag the wife out to Pucks. What can I tell her? You got a good bottle of wine in there hidden so I
So
can
it's
bring her so
Bratski's,
she'll
and the
go.
answer is absolutely not. It's a dive bar. We have one.
But you can't put one bottle of wine back there
We
just to
got it.
take care of this.
It's not $3 Chuck, but it's what do we got over there? I mean, we got
I'll take
I mean, we got
$6.
Kim. We got Kim Crawford. I mean, she's a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, that's
We got Kim
a
Crawford.
Josh, a Josh.
We got Cab. We
Okay,
got
good. All right, very good. I will
yeah.
At
relay
I
the
mean, I'm not gonna
Bratski's,
get a $40, bottle of wine, $50 bottle of
and
wine, but
at Bratski's, you just introduced the whole Mexican food thing at
yeah.
Bratski's,
So have you
right?
guys heard of Chacahua?
No.
So they're in
Tell
Highway.
us.
So this guy used to work for me, right? This is how I knew him. So he worked for me for years. His name's Gennaro, and him and his cousin Jose opened up it's a Mexican restaurant in Highwood, and it's the old Ferentino's in Highwood. That's where I used to work when I was a kid.
Oh.
So I'm real familiar with the spot. So it's just past McDonald's, really before you get into actual Highwood, I would say. There's a couple strip malls right there. So it's in one of those, and they got great food. They're always busy, and we were trying to figure out our identity over at Bratski's because we're like, we have so much of this at Duffers, and we're like this cool sports bar at Duffers. We're having a great time, and I'm like, let's do something fun. Let's do something different. So I called Gennaro up. I said, hey, you want to run this kitchen? Like, I love your food. It's simple street tacos. It's fun. They do tortas. I mean, they still do burgers and wings, but their Mexican food is incredible. And so yeah, he goes, yeah, of course. So they're running the kitchen there. So Chacahua's got their little taqueria out of Bratski's. So now if you come to Bratski's, you could get. They have a full menu there. They keep a cook in the back. They grill you up some fresh tacos every day. So
You still
yeah,
have the brats though, right?
he's redoing the brats. So
Okay.
it's all his kitchen now.
You
So
got, I mean, the name of the place is
I know
Bratski's, Jeff. I mean, you
it's
gotta,
Brodsky's. I know. I get it. I told him,
And
and
didn't you start that because your wife is Polish?
yeah,
If I
she's from
recall? Yeah.
Poland. Yeah, so we did brats and pierogies initially, and then to tell you the truth, between hockey and being a super mom, like at night, because that's when you got to make most of the food, right? Her nighttime schedule just wasn't cohesive with that. So like I had to get back to the
And
drums.
she's soon to replace you as the township supervisor, right?
That's the hope. Yeah. We hope that she gets this all done, and she's very passionate about neighborhood issues. So that's she's on top of that stuff.
Before we get to the neighborhood issues, I want to stick on the federal ones just for a little bit because I'm still, on my
Yeah.
high of the man winning. How's inflation? How long you think it's going to take for this to work its way down? I mean, I know you don't go through a lot of eggs. Maybe you do on the breakfast things on the weekends, but what's going on in inflation?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything yet, but it's been a week and a half, right? So, but I have.
Hold
I
on.
mean,
The way that guy works, 10 days, that's a lot.
I'm I'm not an
No
accountant.
income tax?
Listen, so that I
No
will
tax on tips. Your staff is
I'll
going to
jump
like
all over
that.
that. Yeah. So the no tax on tip and overtime thing would be incredibly beneficial to the service industry across the board. You know, I don't have the exact number, but it's like 70% of front of house service industry are female. A lot of them are, you know, some are single moms, some are, you know, young girls working through college, et cetera. Um, but it would be incredibly impactful for service industry workers. And my big belief is the more money you get to keep without paying taxes, the more you're going to, anyone I know that makes under like a $250,000 a year spends every dollar back into the economy anyway. Whether they, you know, they have 50,000 or 70,000, whatever it is, they're spending it all back into the economy. Give them all the money that they earn and let them spend it right back into the economy. I think that's a great thing. That's a huge win for service industry workers. So I totally support that. Absolutely.
Let's talk about chicken. Prices on chicken. How is that?
Chicken's actually pretty solid. I mean, it's
It is?
yeah. Chicken. Chicken's probably this it's up maybe 30-40% versus pre-COVID. But
Why can I get a $5 rotisserie bird at Costco and then a dozen eggs is 15 bucks?
yeah. Well, I mean, every market is different. I mean, you know, when I I
Economics from Jeff Urso.
yeah, every market is different. I don't know the answer on
All
eggs
right, all right, all right.
versus beef, but you know, you know, I'm not that cool watching those influx. You know, McDonald's probably watches that
Well,
type
when
of
you
stuff.
get the invoices, you got to pay out and you're doing the inventory and you're doing your food
Yeah, you know,
costs.
you know, the unfortunate thing about pricing, whether it's labor or it's product, it's a pass through, right? And at the end of the day, the customer pays, right? So, you know, I can't think of a restaurant that has the same prices that they did in 2018 as they do in 2025. Um, so, you know, everybody has to raise their prices a little bit and adjust, and you hope that it doesn't break the bank for your customers. We're fortunate enough to be in an affluent area. So, you know, most of our customers have been very supportive and, you know, most of them get it. So, you know, that's why bar business is good because it subsidizes a lot of food business. I've tried to segue out of food as much as, you know, as much as I was passionate about growing in food over, you know, pre-COVID. Now we're more focused on alcohol. Um,
Yeah, baby. Margins, baby.
Yeah, well, and it's simple, right? I mean, you know, it's an easy labor thing. It's you know, people enjoy it, and you know, food is a tough business right now. I mean, I pizza businesses have been closing everywhere nonstop over the last 4 years, and I mean, they're literally like dinosaurs now.
Well, I
Uh,
think a lot of it is, and I know talked to a lot of friends about this, is you can eat at home. You know, you can buy your groceries at the grocery store or eat dinner at home. But if you want to go out and have a drink, yeah, you could buy a package of beer, but going out for a drink isn't as expensive as a proposition to most people as going out to dinner. So
sure.
they'll have dinner at their house, but then they'll go out for drinks with friends because
Right,
that's the
right.
social aspect. Because it's more
Yeah,
socializing with
and it depends
drinking
on
than
me too.
dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about experience. So for my 40th birthday, my brother-in-law,
Happy
love.
birthday, Jeff.
Thanks. It's coming up next, a couple months. So my wife just turned
So
40.
I'm looking for the
About,
invite
You're
from the wife, right?
youngsters.
All right.
yeah. So
Continue.
he got us reservations at Aria. Have you heard of like Aria? I think it's
Oh
Aria.
yeah, I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
it's like $700 a plate. I'm like,
In
dude,
Jeez.
Vegas?
no, this is in Chicago, and it's dropping like 3 grand on dinner. And I'm like,
Obviously, I haven't heard of it. So
That
you
makes
I'm a
Sophia
Hooters.
look cheap.
Yeah, I'll go to Hooters with a 22-ounce draft, you know, ultra all day, dude. Take me there 30 times before
We
that.
used to
But
have one in Vernon Hills down the
I know,
road,
and
but
Gurnee. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, they both went out. Now you got to go to Woodfield.
I go to Park Ridge, like
Oh
90.
yeah, they're on Cumberland. Yes,
hold on.
I've seen it from the highway.
Let's
Yeah,
not bury the lead here. Urso's 40th birthday is coming up.
Yeah.
he's a
What day is this?
baby. 40 is a
March
baby,
20th. It's
Jeff.
either the last day of winter or first day of spring, however you want to spin
March 20th?
it. Yeah.
All right. We'll be
Yeah.
looking for you.
Yeah.
Pete and I are counting down to our 60th. So I
Oh,
mean, you know,
nice. That's
well,
Shut
good.
the
he's
hell
going to
up.
get there before me, but yeah,
What are you talking about?
you're young. You got many years to go. God bless you. So,
I
Yeah.
hope so.
but I saw this debate online, and my wife and I both try to have the cauliflower crust
Hmm.
pizza, and somebody was asking on one of those Facebook groups, who has cauliflower pizza? And somebody said Duffers did, somebody said Duffers doesn't.
Donati's does.
Oh, Donati's. Okay, so which is carry out, right? Or
Yeah, Donati's is carry out and delivery. I mean, the secret of it all is if you're at Duffers and you're like, hey, can I talk to the manager? Like the servers won't know. And you ask the manager, like, hey, can I get a cauliflower crust? I mean, they'll take care of you, right? They'll be
right.
like, yeah, got you.
Wait, why is it a secret? Because these people pay double for the damn thing. I know
Well,
my wife would.
so my old man, he loves those cheesecake factories where you got to read a small book before you really decide what you want to eat. But I'm more of a
He,
simple.
he wasn't Greek, was he?
He should have been. Uh, if I let him, he'd put sushi on the menu.
No offense, Mary. Continue.
Yeah, so he's that guy. He'll put 1,000 things, but I'm like, simple is easy. When I go to a restaurant, I don't want to sit there and read for 45 minutes. I'm hungry. I want to get some food and let's go. So, that's different philosophies, I guess. But Donati's has 12 different crusts. We have everything, right? And because like 70% of our orders are online. So then you could go through on your phone or on your computer. You could take your time, pick what you want.
Well, and what's cool about your online order, you use that, was it Toast
Yeah.
app or whatever?
Mhm.
You get points. And like
Points.
I'm constantly getting like $2 off, $5 off my
Yeah,
my
it's
meal.
basically it's like
So
10% back, the way
yeah.
the points work. So, you basically save 10% when you order online. That's just how it equates to. As
But even if you go in the restaurant, you pay with
long as you're using the same credit card. Yep.
yeah.
It's hooked up to your credit card. So if you come in and you pay on that credit card, you get your points. So you're getting points on your credit card and you're getting points with us.
How's the DoorDash working out? Those companies. Eh.
It's a necessary evil for Donati's. I don't do it with Duffers. I don't like DoorDash as a restaurateur, but it's a necessary evil.
Insert vendor here. I mean, is it still a problem with the stuff getting out cold and it's your brand that you're worried about?
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. The quality of the staff that they get. Anybody, you could be a DoorDash driver by 2 o'clock this afternoon if you want to, Pete. Just download the app and start working. But do they care about the restaurant, or do they just they're just moving
I
products?
swear there was a pizza in this box.
Yeah. Well, you get some of
Do you have
that.
your own delivery guys
We do. But delivery, like pizza got killed after DoorDash because of, after COVID because of DoorDash, right? Pre-COVID, you had two choices: pizza, Chinese. Now you could get, Snickers bar delivered from your local gas station. So like DoorDash has changed the game, which is good, right? Technology changes and we have to adapt to it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just more like, I don't love it, of course, but at the same time, I'm not, I got to roll with the times.
Is there a favorite nation delivery that you go out there, or you love anybody that brings you money, Jeff?
Favorite nation? What do you mean?
Is there a favorite Uber Eats,
Oh, no,
DoorDash?
I equally don't like any.
Okay.
So yeah. But
Equal
yeah,
opportunity
I use
hater.
them. I mean, like if I'm in a hotel, like at a hockey tournament, I'm door dashing. I'm
Yeah.
Uber eating.
Yeah.
I don't know if that specific restaurant has their own drivers. I don't know. And I'm not going to take time to research. I just go on DoorDash and I order something. So, I get it. I mean, anyone under 30, that's all they use. But our drivers now, it's kind of funny. We get 18 to 20-year-olds that are home from college or, just a little part-time job, or our other drivers are in their 70s, probably because they don't want to deal with the apps on the cell phone. So
I had friends that delivered pizzas back in the day, and they all have some crazy stories.
oh yeah, I did that for years. Yeah, it was wild for a while, so it was kind of fun.
All right, Jeff, help me out. What the hell's going on in Shields now? I get the
Sure.
emails, I get these videos, and I having a hard time connecting the dots. Can you update us what the hell's going on
Yeah.
in Shields?
Well, I'll give you a quick update. So the consolidated election is April 1st, and to get on the ballot, you got to get signatures, right? I mean, that's every election. So
This is
what
Shields Township, just for our
Well, in
listeners here.
school
Yeah.
board and the park district board, any
But when
election.
Pete says Shields, we're talking about Shields
Shields
Township, which
Township,
is
yeah. But I'm just
all of Lake Bluff and most, but not all of Lake Forest, right?
yep, up to 60. 60 north. So 60 back toward Lake Bluff, right? And then you also get North Chicago. So you get three different areas. But so you got to get petitions, you got to get them signed. Joe, you signed Camilla's and our slates. Thank you for that. So the person, Kathy, running against them, she was getting her petition signed, and some funny business happened with that.
Funny business.
Yeah. And then somebody objected to her petitions. So they went to like an electoral board.
Are we talking about cemetery petitions? Like,
well, no, not that bad,
or...
but it was I'll give you the quick rundown.
Okay, go.
Yeah. So you get so a lot of signatures came in very quickly, and they all, they were circulated, and people get an opportunity to review them, and an objector reviewed them. And so on her slate, she ran as supervisor, and she had 4 trustees. You could Google the names of the people. One of the trustees didn't live in the township for long enough, so they were basically kicked off. One of the trustees that was running didn't submit their economic interest, which is a requirement to be in office in Illinois. They were kicked off. And then, but they all left off their city and state off their petitions. And it was confusing. No one's ever seen this. Why would you leave your city and state off? You're required to put your address on your petition. So why would you leave your city and state? So why everyone, you see who signs the petitions, and you call around, you call some of them, and you're like, hey, did you sign this? So what happened was, one of the trustees lived in Lake Forest, on Washington Road, rather, right by Chiefs. And then Washington is also the most populated road in Lake Bluff. We have Washington and Knollwood, and we have Washington and East Lake Bluff. So they just put their address, Washington, and then comma 60044 60045. So the one person in Lake Forest, well, why would they not put the word Lake Forest on this, or in Lake Bluff? Why did they leave these off? So what happened was, have you guys heard of Vote Lake Bluff?
No. What is that?
That's kind of that's like the Lake Forest caucus, I think.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like their caucus. So if you go on votelakebluff.org, you could see that they vet and support for elections. School board, park district, Lake Forest High School, etc. So to be endorsed / have your petition circulated at their events, the requirements is you have to live in either the village, if it's for the village, election, or in the park district area, which could include Knollwood. But everyone, at the end of the day, everyone has to live in a Lake Bluff mailing address for any of those elections. None of those 4 that they deal with is Shields Township. It's all these other elections, but you have to live in Lake Bluff. So what we found out was these petitions got circulated at Vote Lake Bluff. Many of the people on their board were some of the circulators, and we were confused. Like, how did these? Imagine Lake Forest Caucus getting petitions signed for a countywide race for people from Wakanda or Libertyville. Like Lake Forest Caucus wouldn't do that. So how did Vote Lake Bluff do this? Like, how did these petitions get circulated? Well, Kathy Blahanka, and before I say this, I think the 4 trustees that are running on her slate were all bamboozled by Kathy. I think they were tricked. They didn't know what they were getting into. I don't think that they had any malice, intent, or anything. So anything I'm saying to you guys right now, I'm not putting on any of those 4 trustees. I think this is 100% on Kathy.
Hypothetically, like, what did she say? What was the offer, and what did they think it was, and what was it actually?
Well, yeah, I'll finish
hypothetically, allegedly.
Not even hypothetically. It's actually, there's a report. I think you guys got a copy of it. So they got circulated at these Lake Bluff.
What was this copy? I'll put it right here.
Yeah,
I'm sure I read it, Jeff.
Well, I'll make sure
it was
that
the electoral board hearing transcript, right? It came out at the.
So what happened is they got circulated at these events, which they're, so you go to this caucus, this event, they say, hey, we say, okay, we are endorsing so-and-so. Everyone in this room, you may now sign their petitions, right? That's how the process is supposed to work. Well, while they were signing all these petitions, they were signing her Shields petitions. Well, that should never be allowed. And I don't think the people on Vote Lake Bluff would ever jeopardize the integrity of their organization and allow that. And I don't think any of this would ever happen if anyone knew. It happens to be that her husband, Paul Blahanka, is the chair of Vote Lake Bluff. So what the belief was that in this proceeding was, that Kathy brought in petitions to be circulated. Paul was circulated 3 of the sheets, so I believe he knew about it. And they got all these things circulated at a Vote Lake Bluff event. So all the people signing these sheets believed that this was a Lake Bluff issue for a Lake Bluff election, to put Lake Bluff people on the ballot. So they didn't realize what they were doing. They didn't give opportunity for other people to have a conversation back and forth saying, hey, do we support this candidate or this candidate? They just tried to sneak it in, and they did, and they got called out on it. So the electoral board looked at all this evidence. They looked at there's a thing called substantial evidence versus strict, compliance. I'm sorry, substantial compliance versus strict. Like, so when you fill your name out on your passport, can you mess up your name? Can you do this? Did you do it by accident? Whatever. So it says, well, it has to be strict. Number 2 is there voter confusion? Were people confused? And people were confused. I mean, there's people that came in and testified. They said, I didn't even know what I signed. I'm at a Lake Bluff, Vote Lake Bluff event, and I just signed this because I assumed that it was part of the process that Vote Lake Bluff does. And then number 3 was their intent. That, it's hard to prove intent, but I believe it was intentional 100%. I mean, like I said before to you guys, she's a very smart individual. She's been in office twice before. Every time she's ever done petitions before, she had her entire address on it. So why?
What office was she in?
She was the assessor years ago, and she was a trustee before. So why this time leave off your city and state, but you never did it before? Why? And this has never, by the way, this has never been done in the state. They couldn't even find a precedent case on people leaving off their city and state. No one, not even Tiffany Hayward would do this. This is like how random this is. So they couldn't even find a case where people left off their city and state on petitions running for office. So I've heard that she's appealing it to the circuit court. So I would assume that the circuit court comes up with the same decision as the electors. The electors, 2 are from our community. 1 was a retired judge that looked at this, and they voted unanimously 3-0 that she didn't do it right.
So even if let's say the courts rule that they're back on,
well, then she'll be back.
But then I think the voters of Shields Township should think long and hard before voting for someone that tried to pull this shenanigan off. Because what are they going to do when they're in charge of our tax dollars and stuff?
Well, and I also really think it brings in the integrity of the leadership of Vote Lake Bluff. And again, I don't put this on the panel and the volunteers that work hard that operate with integrity. I think I know a lot of those people, and they're great people. I think this was done with her and her husband. So I think that they intentionally did this, but overall, if she does get back on, it's an election, which is great. I support open elections. I think open elections are great. This is the way our country is founded, and we live in a great country where you have a voice, you have a choice. Come election, I mean, she's very open. She does not like Norwood. I'm like I said, I'm not a politician. I'm a sports bar guy, and I'm the guy in the neighborhood. Like, if you're going to come at my kids, you're going to come at my neighbor's kids or my sister's kids, you're going to come through me. That's just,
well, one of them mocked you online in some comments saying,
What?
all I know is slices of pizza or something like that. I don't know if you saw that one.
Well, so I make a joke, and I do it at the township meetings, and then, they try to throw it back at me. So, I'll say something, and I think I've said it here. I'm like, yeah, but what do I know? I put pepperoni on cheese. Like, yeah, what do I know? Right. And then they're like, oh, guy just, what does he know? He only puts pepperoni on cheese. I actually thought it was kind of funny. I was like, oh man, that's good. We could go back and forth with jokes. I always got jokes. So yeah, I thought it was, I thought it was
And
pretty
one
good.
of the,
He
just
was
for the
serious.
record, one of the other candidates on your slate
Yeah.
is one of the sponsors or one of the supporters of this show, Michelle Parnell.
Yep. Michelle,
So
Michelle
shout out to
Parnell.
Michelle.
Yep. She's running for trustee. And then, Trent
What up,
Swayze.
Michelle? She's running for trustee. I trust her.
Yeah, no, she's great. She's informed in the neighborhood, and then and the big difference is this, and here's the irony of it all. So the slate that I'm supporting is called the Shields Unity Party, right? So they recognize that Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, and Knollwood is one community, right? We have a common goal. Our kids all go to school together. We support, the men and women at our fire departments, at our police departments. We, they're on the football teams, hockey teams, et cetera. They're all together. We're one big community. I know there's little districts and lines that were drawn up 100 plus years ago, but we're one community. Their party is called the Anti-Corruption Party, which the irony of having two trustees kicked off for compliance issues and then pulling this shenanigans, I think is hilarious. So we'd rather be unity than I'm a big believer you get things done with, if your mission is out of love, you're gonna win versus your mission out of hate. So
When will we know if they're on the ballot or not?
all right, I mean, I don't know how the circuit court works. So the ballot's already certified. It's done. However, a judge could change the ballot in the next, I don't know, month. So they
You can go online now to Anthony Vega's website, the Lake County Clerk website, and request a vote by mail ballot for the April election, which my son, who's away at college, has already done.
so
And so
that
anybody can, and you don't even have to go away to get a vote by mail ballot. You can
right. And does
be,
that come out? So I know early voting starts what, February 25th?
well, I don't know if it starts that early
I
because
think it
remember
does.
there is a primary in some parts of the state,
Oh,
not
you may be
here,
right.
but North Chicago and
There,
Waukegan
that's what
have
I saw. That's where
primaries
I
in
saw that date.
February.
You're right.
So I would suspect early voting would be in late March
Okay.
for because the
Yeah.
election is April Fool's Day. Don't be
April
fooled.
Fool's Day. Yeah.
Um,
That's good.
April 1st. So I think in-person early voting, like at the city
Yeah.
hall and stuff, will be in late March. I'm sure Anthony Vega will have all those details up on his website for everyone because he's very transparent.
Yeah.
But
I've dealt with Anthony Vega in the past, and he's first class act guy. So
yeah,
he's
but people they can request. They won't get it yet, but they can
right.
put their name in on the website now to get a vote by mail ballot.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. I think a lot of people only pay attention to the November election, but I think participation in local elections is just as important.
Well, I've said it many times on this show that your local elected officials have much more of an impact on your daily life and especially your wallet
Yes,
than does whoever the president of the United States is or in Congress.
sure.
So
Not if you
we've got
take
it
away my
wrong. The
payroll
turnout should be the other
taxes.
way around. The turnout should be highest for local elections
Yeah,
because that's what matters the most.
I almost wish that they did them all at once. To be honest with you, I think that would make so much sense because it's like National Vote Day. Let's get
Yeah.
out.
The only thing I would raise, only concern I would raise with that is someone like Mary Cole, our friend Mary Cole. They, I'm convinced that if she was on the ballot by herself and not with the presidential stuff up top, she would have won.
Sure,
So
that
there
makes
is that. People will
Why
vote,
didn't she
come out
run
to
as a
vote.
Democrat?
Maybe she should have in hindsight, but
Why didn't she?
because the other guy was a Democrat and he would have won the primary
So
against her
she
because
couldn't
all the,
beat him in a debate. Just saying.
well, I
Sorry,
think
Jeff.
we won't drag Jeff
I know.
into that,
I
but
like her.
just saying that's the
I like
downside
Mary
of having
too. I'm just
Yeah.
is you get people to come out because they hate Donald Trump or they hate Kamala Harris,
Sure,
and then they vote down the ballot
right.
without knowing
Yeah.
anything about anybody else.
that's
RD
what
or
I'm
hard.
saying. We're in Illinois and it's blue. So why do we
And
waste
because
time with this red
there
stuff?
will be nothing, I mean, literally nothing on TV about this April election.
Sure.
So,
Well,
What are you talking
people
about? Nobody watches TV anymore. They watch
or
podcasts.
whatever it won't be on your Facebook feed other than Jeff's posts. It won't be on your Instagram, very little coverage of it.
Jeff, how do we do on the Shield stuff? Do we cover that enough? Because I'm going to don't make me deep dive.
No, hey, I think I think just calling a spade at this point.
Yeah.
And if Kathy stays on the ballot, she's welcome to come on this podcast with us and
Like I
explain her
said, and
side.
I think I've offered where I'd
I
be
think
happy.
I know her type. She ain't coming on.
She's not. She's not.
I know her type.
We'll leave the door open. Her and Prue can come
Yeah.
in together.
Don't let the door hit her on the ass on the way out.
She's
Oh.
my thing about her is just like, she's not running on an issue to benefit anybody. She's
I
running.
know. You know what? People like this are getting called out right now. This is why I'm kind of fired up. I think the sunshine is cleansing. I love it. Jeff, can we get to the golf again? How's the golf going on over there? How are the simulators? Are people messing them up? Are there crashes? Come on, it can't be
all the time, man. These the golf's great. However, I mean, obviously it was big year one, a little less year two, and then it's tapering off. We're in Lake Forest. Half of everyone in East Lake Forest has one of these things in their basement, right? It's so
nicer.
So we're really hoping to get parties and stuff like that, boys night out, stuff like that. But we're not getting the casual golfer so much because and the difference is from the time we opened till today too is all the clubs have added it since then. Knollwood, Conway, everyone's got Sims now. So all the private clubs added the Sims, which keeps the
You're
private.
saying there should be a club tournament at Duffers to see who the championship is?
I would love that. I would love it.
Come on, baby, let's go.
It's good though, man. I get to
Maybe you should work out a deal with
Wait.
Deer Path and Deer Path golf course.
Nice public course. I'm sure though they got the budget.
With Kemper.
But no, hold on, Jeff. We're on to something. How many bays do you have there? 3 or 4?
You got 3 bays. Yep.
Okay. Who are the top 3? Like, who's supposed to be really good at golf in this town?
Ooh, in this town? I mean,
yeah.
I can tell you my generation. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying, what, like, Knollwood Club? Who's all the
club-wise? I think Owensia, Knollwood. They're
okay,
all...
Owensia, Knollwood, and
Old Elm.
Okay, Old Elm. Those 3.
Yeah.
Are you saying there's going to be a Duffers challenge for those 3 to show up?
And Conway, don't forget Conway.
Well, yeah, Conway.
Okay, Conway.
That's Lake Forest, dude.
So you're saying you heard it here first. There'll be a championship. See if any of those people want to come out to Duffers and claim the cup. And I don't want any of these fancy big ass cups. I want like an empty bottle of that Yingling with a duct tape.
We got to do. You know what we got to do this year? I mean, I appreciate you fighting for but where I want your attention to be, Pete, and I think we can do it. I think we tried last year, but we all got a little busy. We got to get block parties going in East Lake Forest again. We got to get back on that. I think
Pete's got one going on Granby.
June 21st.
Well, Granby's cool, but Western's cooler. We need.
Well, hold on, Jeff. Since you brought it up, okay. Of course, you're willing to do the Duffers Championship at your place. I understand for those.
That's a no-brainer.
All right, number 2, music. I'm waiting for Kathy Z to put her agendan on the application. Garages on Granby, Jeff.
Yeah.
June 21st, 2 to 7.
Okay.
My neighbor and I share a wall, and we're going to have bands going back and forth. And if somebody wants a beer to use the restroom, we're sending them to Duffers.
Perfect. Bring them by. When the Tocco will be open too.
Oh yeah, Tocco.
Are they? Every time I go by there, I don't see any work being done. Maybe it's because I'm.
No, they're working. They got paper windows, so it's like hard to tell. But they're getting some progress. I think they'll be open in 5, 6, 7 weeks.
And then I heard at the city council meeting, there's another place opening on Bank Lane. Did you hear this?
Where on Bank?
Some bar. I can't remember the name. If you go back to the tape, I think Kathy Zerniak mentioned it.
Trying to think. Bank Lane's not very big, so unless like the old Starbucks, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think somebody's just running a beer tub out there.
I know the post office from years ago that because Market Square owns the post office, the building. So I've heard that is eventually
Wait,
going to
wait. Hold on. Market Square owns the post office? I thought the feds owned the post office.
That's
No, I think
right.
they rent that from Market Square, from, I don't know if it's L3. I think a
Oh,
teacher's
interesting.
headquarters
All
out of
right.
Ohio owns it now. But yeah, I think it's privately owned, and I think the plan is to eventually make that like a big restaurant.
Because who goes to post offices anymore?
I
Yeah,
do. I love those two ladies in there. They rock.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they've talked about we had former Mayor Pandaleon on the show a couple times, and it
George,
was
how
his
you doing?
understanding they weren't going to move it because Lake Forest has the highest volume of bulk mail of any community because everybody wants Lake Forest business. But there was talk that because they have the sorting center out on Bradley,
Um,
that they would just make that the whole post office. But
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, so it's kind of funny. I do EDDMs, they're called, which is the bulk mailing. You'll get my big postcards once in a while. So I got to bring them to. It's kind of silly, right? I got to bring them to East Lake Forest, even for Lake Bluff. Lake Bluff doesn't take them anymore. The post office. You got to bring them all to Lake Forest, post office, and I load up the cart for them. I pull around back. I do all that. But then they got to put on a truck to drive to Bradley Road. And I'm like, man, I could just bring it to Bradley, but you have to, you got to follow the procedure. It's kind
That's
of,
the feds.
Interesting.
Maybe Trump will fix that for you.
Trump will fix everything, baby.
yeah,
So Jeff, June 21st, we were talking about doing bands and block parties, and all right, maybe we got to do something. Maybe we need something bigger than just sending people down to Duffers. Maybe we need a stage down there, put up a couple horses up there, a couple bands for the youngsters, have all the
we
old
got
people.
we got to get a block party on Western. I love downtown Lake Bluff in the summer with the block parties and everything. I think it's just such a great atmosphere, so much fun, and I think we got to get Lake Forest going on that. I think it would be so awesome down here, and I think Lake Forest wants it too. So I mean, who knows? Even around Lake Forest days, if we
Well,
could shut down Western.
Well, and I think the long-term plan of
you
the
can't
city
take any money
is
away from the Legion, God forbid.
the long-term plan of the city is to, and you're starting to see it with the Deer Path construction, which I don't know if that's impacting your business, but that and Bank Lane, they're going to make it where Bank Lane can get closed off easily for festivals and stuff, and maybe
Yeah, I saw
Western Avenue
that and I
too.
heard about that. That'd be cool. I just, my concern with Bank Lane was like restrooms and access and parking and all that. Where
Yeah.
I think Western, the only caveat we have and we got to figure out is the railroad tracks because it's fenced on one side, not on the other. So like we'd have to put up some temporary fencing or something. We'd have to just make sure we keep it safe for everybody. But I think Western is such a, plus
Because
then
we don't want drunk Pete falling on the railroad tracks when a metro train's flying through.
right,
There's no
yeah,
such thing as a drunk Pete. There's a less sober Pete
yeah.
who's
But I mean, we do the art fair, we do the car show. There's no reason we can't pull this off. So I
for
think
anybody that wants to keep their pinky down. I think we do. What do you call that? When you go from bar to bar, Jeff, what do you call that?
bar hopping.
Bar hopping. Okay, maybe we do a little stage hopping where we start on Granby stage, then you have another garage somewhere else, and then Duffers. Boom, we close it out for the finale. We're just spitballing here, Jeff and Kathy. Who
Yeah,
Kathy? I know you're not listening.
no, listen. I think it'd be awesome for us Lantern Chiefs. I think all the bars would benefit on such a great day. We don't have to make it as late as theirs or as extensive. We could do this like a Saturday day, great block party, and then
Okay.
then we could kind of go out on a limb. I think it'd be a lot of fun and be a lot of family fun. So I think it'd be
All
great
right.
for.
Well, plus we get to use your washrooms and not mine.
Well, yeah, and don't forget about Tocco.
Tocco.
We're gonna have
And there's
They're too
and
busy with their crystal etchings over there.
I do want to give a shout out to Authentico, which is next door to Lantern.
right.
That is a really nice Mexican restaurant that
Yeah,
all the
I
people
I
there
gotta
are
go
really
so
very nice people there.
Yeah, the problem is in Lake Forest with signage is if you don't see a sign, you almost forget sometimes. So you're
Well,
right.
what they do is during the summer they have those flaming
Yeah, well, I remember them in the
things.
summer.
So that's how it caught our attention was, wait,
Yeah,
what's
Shields Township, what's her name? Bad.
Unless she comes on the show.
Yeah, Kathy.
Bad.
Well,
Bad.
I would
But
caution.
now Jeff's wife coming on the show. Good. Maybe
Yeah,
we,
hey, bring her on.
You know.
She's all about it.
husband and wife thing, maybe
We'll get
next.
Parnell on.
Okay.
I get a hard what? L?
Parnell, Michelle Parnell.
Parnell. I was like, what?
Parnell.
Parnell.
Parnell's
And then
awesome.
you've got, is he the son of the former mayor or the nephew of the former mayor?
Who's
Sort
that?
out?
Oh, I don't know. Trent? No, his dad is a hockey coach at Winter Club. His dad's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my
Okay.
life.
Because there's a lot of Swarthouts.
I think, his
this
dad,
area.
I think one of his uncles is on the water shed
Yeah,
board.
and there was years back a Swartout that was mayor of Lake Forest.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And there's an auto body shop on 176. I never heard the name the two names I never heard till I moved here.
Yeah.
And now I hear them all the time are Swartout and Pasquesi.
Yeah.
Never heard those names until I moved here.
Really? I feel like Pasquesi's everywhere.
Pasquesi's definitely. Plumbers, lawyers, the whole 9 yards. They were all over that island.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they found Lake Forest,
Peninsula.
they just pulled me back in. So,
Yeah.
so Jeff, I want to sell my wife on going on to, where do I get the chicken at? Is it Puck's? Is that where I get the good chicken? Where's the chicken at?
It's Duffers now. We've moved. So we got all
right. Go. You rebranded. Go over it. The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. So we expanded real quick, and I obviously I do a lot of things all the time, but I really wanted to get back to the roots of doing everything excellent. So that's where we kind of refocused and got everything back in. And obviously, as you guys know, without being too political, costs are they're expensive. It's at the end of the day, it's hard to run multiple shops with labor and product costs, right? So we wanted to really zero in and be as efficient as possible. So now we have Duffers and Donati's in the same building. So half of it on one side in the courtyard is Donati's. The other half up front is Duffer's Pub. So Duffers and Donati's have different menus, but Duffers has your cool wings. It has Neapolitan pizza, all that fun stuff.
Hold on, I drove down the street and I saw Puck's. I saw it in that red building. So is the signage still up? I'm getting confused here, Jeff.
Puck's is being paused right now. So I don't know where you saw Puck's. Where did you see Puck's?
I was driving down the road. What's that road?
176?
Like 3 years ago, like in 2022, you were driving.
The mall where Heinen's is?
All right, so it's not there. Okay. I could have sworn. All right, never mind. Go, because I'm confused.
More often, man.
Somebody else is confused. What are the brands and where are they at and what do they offer so we can send people there?
You got Duffers and Donati's in Lake Forest. You got Bratski's in Knollwood. So we've been working that. Still helping out Mandy at Prairie in downtown Lake Bluff. She's doing a great job running that. So that's what we're focused on in the next for 2025.
Okay, so where do we send people?
Send them Duffers Pub. Duffers. So Bratski's is boys' night out, girls' night out. It's a fun place.
I was there one night when some dude rode maybe you shouldn't know this, but some dude rode his motorcycle through into the back.
Yeah, this is nothing new. My kid rides his dirt bike there.
But he rode it in the restaurant.
Dad. Step off.
It's a different culture.
It's not Glenbrook, dude.
Yeah. It is it's fun. I'm telling you, it's a great time.
And Casimir Pulaski Day is coming up, right? You're going to have a big
100%, yeah, first Monday of March.
So, yeah, you wouldn't be so excited for that if you had to take that damn bus every day to school.
You and Pete got to come out on a Thursday night or a Friday night. I promise you'll have a great time.
I'm saying that's what I want to do. I'm trying to get the wife to go over. Okay.
I'll get Debbie to go with you.
All right, fine. Debbie,
Maureen.
Get a hold of Mo and we'll go out and Jeff is going to have a bottle of Josh there just in case.
Oh yeah, we got the wine.
You'll take the Yingling flight, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Yingling flight is Duffers exclusive. It's not on a.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
I'll work something out. Don't worry.
I don't even know.
You got Ultra though at the other. You got Ultra at the other.
Yeah, we got Ultra.
Right? All right, I'll just do Ultra.
So we'll get it, and then Well, thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
Jeff, thank you so much.
The Rich Melman of Lake Forest.
That's damn straight. Ray Kroc.
Yeah. We'll keep you updated after the appeal. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Send me the email and then explain. Like, I need something besides a video because I don't understand things. Joe is the political operative over here, so
if you think I understand things, I'm glad to know I've got you fooled.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, over and out, boys. Michelle Parnell has lived and worked in Lake Forest for over 2 decades. Michelle's lending experience, when combined with her real estate expertise, makes her an invaluable asset to her clients as they navigate their home buying or selling process. Call Michelle now at 847-528-8721, 847-528-8721. For the best cannabis in the world, look no further than Iliad Epic Grow, owned by Lake Bluff's own Rich Ruzich. They are a cannabis cultivation center focusing on hard-to-find small batch products that will delight both the occasional user and ganjier. When visiting Michigan, ask for it by name. Epic Products, exceptional process. For more information, email info@iliadgrow.com. Laracy & Company CPAs, founded in 2010 by Lake Forest's own Brian Laracy, specializes in tax preparation and bookkeeping services. Earning the People Love Us on Yelp award, their process is straightforward. Just upload, review, and file. For a free quote, visit LaracyCPA.com now. That's LARISEYCPA.com. I'm excited to share with you something special from our Lake Forest community, the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa, located at 775 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest near Wisconsin Avenue. This just isn't any spa. They offer an amazing blend of traditional spa services plus the added benefit of medical procedures and treatments. In a relaxing and luxurious spa environment, you can enjoy a range of cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. These are all performed under the supervision of top medical professionals. The Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa provides skin care, facial rejuvenation, body contouring, laser hair removal, Botox, dermal fillers, chemical peels, and much more. What's great is that each treatment is tailored not just to enhance your appearance, but also to address specific skin concerns and to promote overall well-being. So if you're looking to pamper yourself and take your beauty routine to the next level, give the Aesthetic Lounge Med Spa a call at 224-768-8028 or visit them at their location on North Bank Lane. It's an experience your skin will thank you for. We'd also like to say we're thankful for our Patreon supporters, Otto, John C., Helen, Herrick, and J.M.